Hello and welcome. I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is issue number 56 of Building the Terminator. This is what we have this week. Some parts there. I shall have a look through the instruction manual itself and see what we're doing with it. This is assembling the right hip joint. So according to this we have that, that one, and two bags of assorted nuts, screws and things which are off the bottom of the screen. You can't quite see them. There we go. So that is what we have received. So hip joint, inner casing hip joint, outer casing hip joint, domed cap for hip joint, outer cap for hip joint, and assorted screws. We also need the thigh assembly and model assembly from previous issues. So yes, we're putting stuff together. So let's have a look. First up, we are using from last time. If you saw last time, we put some of this together. Now we're actually getting some of this in action together with it. So there we have that, which we're putting that part on. Take the thigh assembly from issue 55, place it in the orientation shown. Fit the inner cap casing into the opening. The flat surface is upwards as shown. So not that way round, that way round. That is just dropping into there and going all the way through like that. Cool. Ensure the recesses fit around the screw sockets. Indeed they do. Then we're getting the hip joint, which is actually metal. It's a metallic ball socket joint on a post, so that's quite substantial. That is going into the middle there, so it sits in the inner casing. So that's going all the way through there and obviously coming out the other side. So you've actually got obviously rotational and all sorts of lateral movement on that. Then we are taking the model assembly from issue 54, identifying the hip socket, which is that bit. So I shall grab that momentarily. Let's have a quick look through and see what we're doing first. Get things prepared, because obviously the model itself is getting quite big and substantial now. We're fitting that through into there. Two notches that have to be fitted over raised bars inside the hip socket, so you've got to be able to rotate that in. And then a screw, one of these, is going through that from the outside and hopefully screwing into something on the inside. I shall put the spare screw that we're getting from that in my collection to add to the pot. We'll worry about those bits in a minute. I have a screwdriver prepared for that, so that's that there. And yes, let's get the body itself. Now I have, as I mentioned previously, removed the arm. We haven't done that arm yet, but that arm is done. But there's no point in carrying it around and moving it around when it's just a matter of a simple screw sort of holding that in place. So I've taken the arm off because it's a lot easier than messing around with everything else. Now the leg is going to go onto that there. Yes, there's a screw thread in there that that's going to go onto. So let's figure out how this is going to work. If I lay him down like that, then you can see, I can see, and hopefully I've still got enough room to put that through there like that. Now, he said about, yeah, there's two prongs that way round, not that way round, they're that way round. So I need to make sure that's located the same way round, like so the slots are in that direction, and hopefully I can feel that locate on. There we go. That feels like that's gone into place there. And then into the end of that I can put this screw. Hopefully that will screw in there and I'll be able to feel that tighten up. It feels like it's doing something. Definitely getting there. Yep, there we go. So yes, there we have that. So this is obviously still very loose, but the middle socket is secure in there. Okay, so that's that. Step 6 is fit the outer hip casing over the ball tip, notches around the edge and raise screw sockets inside. So that's the other black plastic bit going onto there, again fitting around all of the 4 posts. And a little bit of twiddling. to get that in the right way round and push down around that. So that's giving us the stability of that. Then I'm guessing the two outer pieces are going to go around the outside, because that's the way the outside works. Let's have a look. Yeah, that one goes on the outside, then that one goes over the top and is screwed in place by the 4 screws. So let's get those screws ready, the long screws here, which there will be 5, no doubt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yet, so I'll put the spare one over there. That's going to go on the outside, but first of all the metal version is going to go over the top of the plastic one, and again rotated and manipulated around to fit over. Cool. Then that bit, doesn't matter which way around, it's all the same in 4 directions. Each of those goes in place over there and are screwed in place. Nice long screws that are going to hold these in place, so that's good. Let's see. That feels like that's lining up. So yeah, just get a couple of turns on there, and as ever, don't tighten down the first one because you don't know that it's all lining up properly. Although it's rotated, it's circular, so it probably is. It's best to get them all in, get them all started. Then you know exactly where you are, and you know everything's lined up properly once the last one goes in place. Like this. Yep, that all went in place, so that's okay. So then you can make sure you tighten that one up, and then obviously tighten up all the others as well. Let's get that done. 1. 2. Then that will be this section of this build completed. And that's halfway through this month's deliveries. As a subscriber, I get 4 issues every 4 weeks or so. So yeah, there we go. That's that, which now has movement in all directions and enough stability to hold itself in place. Although that wouldn't be nearly enough to hold the body up if it was just the legs doing the supporting. So they have thought it through, and it seems to be working. So let's move him to one side a bit while we have a look through the rest of the magazine. We have some stuff about Interstellar rather, not Stellar, which I've seen, but it's been a while. I'll have to rewatch that one again. That was quite good. That's very sort of mental science fiction brain sort of thing. Yeah, so that was quite good fun. Then The Death of Star Formations in Extreme Galaxies. That's a bit sad. But yeah, all about the cosmos and stuff. And then, as ever, we'll be back with next issue, finish the right hip joint and assemble a leg part. Just a leg part, just a little part of a leg. So obviously we're putting the outside on there by the sounds of it. Probably that bit. Although this is still out and exposed, so that's obviously the leg part. So yeah, we'll figure it out. That's that. Thank you for watching along with part 56. If you want to make sure you see more, make sure you obviously subscribe to the channel, and then you'll be able to be notified properly when more parts and issues become available. Obviously I build other stuff as well, so you can keep yourself amused in the time between issues coming out. So thank you again. See you soon for part 57. Yeah, see you around. Thanks for watching. Bye.